Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. In our top stories today, from yesterday, we see a brief article here from Right Side Broadcasting Network. Trump vindicated AIM finding from House report investigation January 6th committee activities. So I find it fascinating because if you think about the fact that this happened nearly 4 years ago, and the Democrats, the Trump detractors, the establishment have been dragging this out for so long. And this is what we mean by knee-jerk reaction when it first comes out, to sustain that knee-jerk reaction across the board. But then when the truth does finally come out, it's, meh. So it's interesting to see, though, the truth does come out and how all this time it's being manipulated, coerced, and manipulated and leveraged against Donald Trump. Because, as you know, we're in the political height of the season. Breaking. The driver of the beast on January 6th testifies to the January 6th committee that President Trump never physically assaulted Secret Service agents or lunged for the steering wheel when they refused to take him to the Capitol. It's important to remember this because this is based on Cassidy Hutchinson's hearsay. She heard it. And it's important that everyone know the distinction because this is all part of the misdirection. Because here on the BuzWeaver channel, of course, we take the difficult, we take the complicated, we take the tumult, we take the confusion, we take the chaos, and we break it down. And we see it broken down right here. So after all that knee-jerk reaction, now the truth is coming out. This was the chief claim that lying former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson made in her June 2022 testimony. 2 years ago, they drug this out to the January 6th committee. Absolutely. And here's a transcript. Here's her speaking. Oh, this was played on 24/7 mainstream media for a week, if you guys remember that. It was absolutely extraordinary. But let's go to the mainstream media and see how they're doing it and how they're wording it. Pay close attention to how they're wording it. Trump's driver contradicts Cassidy Hutchinson about January 6th SUV altercation, GOP report says. Now, notice they didn't say lying, that he indicates that Cassidy Hutchinson was lying about what she said. Now, granted, it was hearsay, so she has flexibility there on, well, that's what I heard, so, of course, that gives her that outlet, right? But it was a lie that she did hear. And, of course, the altercation, as opposed to jumping over and grabbing the steering wheel and wanting to go. See, they exaggerate all this. And so when they have to come out and correct it or tell you the truth, they have to reword everything. They have to reframe it. Former Trump White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson testimony about what she was told then President Donald Trump's actions on January, what she was told. When it was just her being told, it was totally fine. They didn't try to check into it. They didn't try to verify it with Secret Service. No, just what she was told was totally fine for them to go on. Was contradicted. It wasn't a lie, you see. It was a contradiction, everyone. It wasn't a lie. In part, by Trump's driver that day, a new report from a Republican-led House committee claims Hutchinson was a key witness in a previous Democratic-led House Select Committee. Oh, it was led by Democrats. Interesting. Investigation on January 6th, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. She testified both privately and publicly. Among other details, Hutchinson testified that she was told Trump was irate on that day and attempted to go meet with supporters at the Capitol, where the rioting then unfolded as Congress gathered to certify Trump's election defeat to Joe Biden. So Hutchinson recalled a conversation she had at the White House on January 6th with Bobby Engel, part of the Trump's security detail, who was sitting in a chair looking somewhat discombobulated. Antonio Ornato Antonio Ornato, she testified before the committee on January. So basically, it was hearsay. And the Democrats ran with this. And, of course, yesterday we found out not only about this, but that Joe Biden had bragged about to his ghostwriter that he had classified documents. So it was a big day yesterday for Donald Trump. Not only victory here in Georgia in the primary, which was kind of a given considering he's now the Republican frontrunner. But I find it fascinating, again, the language, the framing, the way they change everything here from what she originally said. It's just this is the things that we talk about here, is how the media intentionally, willfully coerces, coordinates, and brings out this information. And now we find out that it was just, of course, her hearsay. And then now we get the actual details from the driver himself saying, no, that was not what happened. And then, of course, the Democrats have to come out and admit it. But again, like I said, over 2 years, they kept playing this January 6th game. You notice that they've not been talking so much about insurrection. That 9-0 victory from the Supreme Court to Donald Trump over whether he should be able to be on the ballot was a huge defeat for them. I would say this is also yet another defeat, and these defeats continue to add up, but they don't always talk about them, right? Because this is their strategy that's failing. This is the strategy that's failing for them. They don't like to talk about it. They don't like to bring it up for long periods of time. But, of course, yesterday they had to do either one or the other, right? So they ended up going and showing the investigation hearing into Joe Biden's classified documents that he had and bragged about. So I found it fascinating. What an amazing day on Tuesday. That would have been March the 12th for everyone who's watching this as it is recorded on the 13th. But an amazing day. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for your continued support across New Tech as well as here on YouTube. You guys are amazing. Appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on that if you're on YouTube, of course, to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.